Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, we're having a bit of a technical issue this morning with my Blackboard link. So I can get in as a participant. You'll see my name up there as a participant. But unfortunately, my moderator link for some reason isn't working for on the computer that we have in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. So Miss Wood is just quickly going in to make sure to give you guys all a chat function and stuff for you guys. So at this moment, I don't have access to Blackboard from a moderator perspective. So do please stay in Blackboard though, and make sure you're in the live classroom, and we shall get started. And I'm just hoping that everyone's with me. I know today, this morning, where there was some excitement because we all got our provincial exam and final marks. So congratulations to everyone on how well you've done so far. And I'm very, very proud of all of you. So now we get to actually start fresh as well with social studies. We're starting our next unit. So we are going to be starting a Heritage Fair project, all right? Basically, and I'm splitting it into different sections for you guys so we do it step by step together, all right? Now, a Heritage Fair project, ladies and gentlemen, is basically like a science fair project for social studies, okay? So we get to create a board and we're going to do some research and all of that fun stuff, okay? So that's where we're heading today. And today I want to focus on how to find the right project for you. So this is going to be a little bit of more exploration today than actually getting anything concrete, all right? So basically, your learning targets for this morning is that you can use the inquiry processes, which are basically such things as researching, gathering information, those sort of things, to gather topics for your project. That's what we're focusing on. We're going to get a core couple of topics for each of you, and then we'll whittle that down by next day. All right? So here's our agenda. We're going to look at some historical thinking concepts because that is an aspect of looking through the lens into your topic. Then we're going to where to start, look at some resources, possible topics, and then we'll do some reflection. All right? So this is where I want to start. This is kind of where we're going to do our group work today. All right? So there are 6 videos within the assignment. Okay. Each of these videos represent a different historical thinking concept or a different lens when you're looking at a topic. All right. So we have evidence and interpretation. Okay. We have historical perspective. We have ethical judgment. We have historical significance. We have continuity and change and cause and consequence. Now, We've looked at topics already, you guys, through many of these lenses. But now what I want to do is really make it apparent to you guys what each of these are. So I am going to assign you guys one video. So you don't have to watch all 6 because each video is between 6 and 7 minutes and gives some great background into each concept and gives some specific examples. Okay, so you can really see the historical thinking concept in action. So I'm going to give you guys one video each. Watch your video. Then what I'm going to do is, as you guys are watching, jot down some notes, and I want you guys to come up with what's called a visual glossary. So what are some actual images? Either you can draw them, go find some on Google, whatever it is that you guys want to do. And what are some images that represent that historical thinking concept? Okay. So because I don't have moderator privilege, we're going to see how this works right now. So I'm going to bring up my list here, and I'm hoping that, that I can do it from here, you guys. So I am assuming that Taylor's here. So Taylor, if you could do video 1, okay? Mason, if you want to do video 2, so video 1, by video 1, Taylor, yeah, Abby, you're only going to be able to private message just because Miss Wood, I think, is trying to get into my moderator room to give us, oh, there we go. So perfect. I'm just going to, this is Mrs. Wood, you guys. Perfect. Can you give chat permission? Perfect. So I'm hoping now, you guys, that we'll have chat permission as well. Okay. So let's go back up here. Okay. So Taylor, by that, I want you to do the historical interpretation video. Okay. Mason, I want you to do historical perspective video. Damon, you can do the ethical judgment video. Andrew, if you can do historical significance, that would be great. Belle, if you could do continuing and change. Ava, if you could do cause and consequence. Abby, if you want to do the first one as well there, the interpretation, that would be great. Anna, do historical perspective. And Alex, if you could do ethical judgment. And we'll see how we go here. Okay. So once you have your videos, you guys, go ahead and watch. And like I said, you guys, I'd like you to do, let's see if I actually have a slide. Yeah, I do. So what I want you to do is right now, watch the video, and you're going to be creating a visual glossary. Okay. And then as we come together in some breakout rooms, then we'll be able to share our visual glossary as a group. And because I don't think we've got enough students, we might actually just do it in the main room that we can do our stuff together. All right. So I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes. Watch your video and start thinking of some visual glossary ideas. All right. So go ahead and get started, you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was 10 minutes. You will probably have a bit more time just because I need to actually now get our whiteboard up and running here. All right. So when we go in, you guys, what I'm going to do here is just so I can get the rest of the whiteboard up and running here. What I'm going to do, you guys, is actually split the blackboard into 6 different areas. Then I will give you guys whiteboard permission. And then in the 6 spots, you guys can put up your visual glossary. Now, like I said, I don't think we've got enough for breakout rooms today. So we'll have doubled up in 1 or 2, 3 boxes, and that's totally fine. You guys won't put up the same thing anyways. So I'm going to give everybody whiteboard privilege. I'm going to split into 6 spots here, you guys. And then we can get started. All right. No, just Miss Ward is drawing lines. Just Miss Ward. Thank you. Okay, so now here we go. So this is going to match, you guys, the image just like in the assignment, right? So this was video 1, this was video 2, video 3, so on and so forth. So whatever video you had, you can start doing your visual glossary in that specific box. And remember, like I said, you guys, you're going to have a couple of different students in the same box, okay? So Taylor, and now what I'm going to do, you guys, is now detach this so I can actually see what's going on. Okay, so yes, Taylor, absolutely. So what I mean by visual glossary is, were there specific terms in the video that will help other people understand what that means? You might have an overarching just one image for your video, or you could have multiple images explaining a little bit of each of the different types. It's really up to you and how you connected with your video specifically. All right. So I would suggest using just Google stock images, you guys, going in and finding stuff. Then in the chat room, okay, in the main room, you need to explain your images or image and why it represents that historical thinking concept. All right. So that's what I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So Taylor, nope, just images. And then when you explain your images is when you can actually use your words. Okay. So on the whiteboard, all I want is images. Okay. Both, Abby. Okay. Both. If it's, if you think you can explain it, the whole idea of this, you guys, is can we interpret from your images what that historical thinking concept is all about? Okay. So that's what your goal is. All right. So you're talking about, if you're doing cause and consequence, what images would represent that? Okay. That sort of thing. Okay. So I'll give you guys a bit more time to come up with some ideas as well for there. So let's go another 10 minutes and we'll actually do our visual glossary and work on that. All right. So go ahead and get started on that, ladies and gentlemen. Very good, Abby. Good. Okay. And Taylor, good contribution as well, because you just didn't have access to images, and that's totally fine. Okay. So everyone else still needs to type in, though, why they chose the images that they did. All right. And how does that represent their historical thinking concept? Okay. So that's really important that you do that as well. And then we need to think about these 6 concepts in relation to your topics. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Good. So when you're looking at a topic, okay, good. So Alex, which one was yours? What was your historical thinking concept? Was it the ethical judgment? Yeah. Okay, good. Excellent. Yes. And it is us making that ethical judgment, whether or not it's right or wrong, right? Oh, Belle, very nice. Very nice. Good. Good. Excellent. Good, you guys, you got it. Good. Now, even if we didn't get that last one in, that's totally fine. You guys now have access to all 6, though, historical thinking concepts, right? Or those lenses that you can view a topic through. Some lenses are more natural towards specific topics, okay? And you'll see that once you start thinking about topics for yourself for your heritage fair, okay? Then you'll see that the historical lens that you're going to use to look at it might just be a natural fit. Okay. That's totally fine, Andrew. That's okay. Even if you just type in, like what Taylor did. Okay. So that's really, really important as well. All right. Now I'm just going to bring up back into you guys my PowerPoint because I want to make sure I'm hitting all the points here. So if you have a good idea, and I think really the titles around each of the historical thinking concepts, you guys, are quite self-explanatory. If you do need to go back and review those videos, they're in the assignment for you there to preview. Okay. They do give really good specific examples. I do like that as well. Now that you have an idea of at least one historical thinking concept, okay, now what you want to do is start thinking about topics, okay, for your heritage fair. There are some guidelines. Number 1 has to be Canadian history. That's your number 1, okay? Should be something that you guys are passionate about. This is wide open, you guys. This is a big voice and choice project, okay? So I've given you a list here just to help you get started, okay? Number 1, start with your own interests. Think about what you're interested in. Could you turn that into a topic that relates to Canadian history somehow? All right? Look at what you already know from school and from socials. Have we already studied something? Maybe there's even something in science or in English that we've talked about that we can turn into a heritage fair project. Another great place to start is your neighborhood, you guys. Think about what you know within your neighborhood, what you wonder about the place of your neighborhood, even expand that to Kelowna and to the people. Maybe you have a really interesting neighbor and you'd like to find out more about their background or their history. Okay. Look at the names of your local streets and schools, right? There's some lots of great historical stories around schools. Okay. Talk to your family members. Ignore that spelling mistake that's on there that I just noticed. Talk to your family members. Okay, you guys? Maybe you want to look into your family heritage. Maybe there's some great, interesting stories there as well. Okay. Current events, timely issues. That's another great place to start. How does Canada tie into that current event? Okay, maybe you can take a look at that. Look at past projects. I've given you a link to the BC Heritage Fair's website, to their past projects. You can see what other students have been doing in the past. Okay. I've also given you a list of project topics and ideas. Okay. So take a scroll through there. Maybe something will interest you. Okay. This is another one as well, you guys. If you've been to the museum, maybe Mr. Fender's taken you to the museum and you may have, something may have piqued your interest there. Go back, see if you can find anything at the museum. And then obviously don't forget the school. Okay. We do have resources here that you guys can have access to. All right. Mr. Fender actually just gave me a great magazine this morning, and I instantly thought of a great Heritage Fair project. This is going back in history, and the 20 greatest women have been named in Canadian history, right? Who have made a difference. And I was like, oh, what a great Heritage Fair project. Looking at women's roles in Canada over time. Right? Maybe taking the historical lens of continuing change, right? How has women's roles changed over the space of time that Canada's become a country, right? Those sort of things. So I've got this magazine as well, if someone's interested in it anyways. All right. So those are just some places to start. All right. Now, how do you actually come up with some topics? Okay, what I want by the end of the day today, you guys, or in the next couple of days, okay, by the next time I see you, I want you to come up with 3 potential topics. They don't have to be specific, okay? These can just be overarching topics. Maybe your topic is women in Canada, okay? That's not really specific. We'll narrow that down later as we go through, but right now, just really overarching topics, okay? And think about the historical thinking concept that you could view each of these topics through, okay? So that's all you're doing today. So in the online text box, I want 3 potential topics along with how you would view those topics. Which historical thinking concept would you use? All right? So this is where I'm going to say my goodbye on the live classroom, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a couple minutes to go back and set up in my office again on Blackboard, and we'll answer any questions that you may have there. All right? Because I don't know how confused you are right now. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm clear. All right? So give me about 10 minutes, you guys. Let me get set up in my office, and we'll see you back in Blackboard. All right? Bye, guys.